Hello and welcome to the Loose Butthole Reviews. I am your host Smokey, and joining with me as always is my co-host Spooge.
Hello.
And before we get into the movie proper, we always have to go over our three rules. First rule is the rating has to be a 5 out of 5, 1 being we hate it, 5 being we love it. Rule number 2 is we can only give a Jeff Goldblum if the film says we want our makes us one money back. And rule number 3 is a God tier can only be given if we both agree that it deserves a 6 out of 5. And today's film will be Black Christmas, the 1974 original version.
And I
It
I
is.
really liked it.
Yeah, I really like it. I can go ahead and give my rating. It's a
Mhm.
4.5 out
Nice,
of
nice.
5. Uh, I
And
I can't fully love it. There's some I have some issues with it, but that's my own personal gripes. That's
mhm,
why it's only half a point taken away.
me too. And I think I'm gonna agree with the. Oh, actually,
Well, let's get into it. I mean,
hmm. I'm just trying to.
let's
I'm trying to remember all my 4.5s right now.
get you.
Um,
I kind of
let
understand,
me,
but
let me go. I'm gonna have you tell what you liked about the movie, and then go through your gripes with it. And I'm gonna go look at our channel to see our ratings and the thumbnails.
well, my gripes is really just the acting's just not 100% there.
Yeah, especially with the lead.
It's just to be honest, I it's hard for me to remember that character's the lead. I always think it's Barb
Yeah.
that's the lead, but it's not.
Hello.
It's a
Yeah,
completely different character.
Barb was the best. I wish she was the lead.
Yeah, I always
She
mistaken
fucking was
what
awesome. She was a horrible person,
she
but
yeah, she's a terrible person, but she has the most personality out of everybody, and
Mhm.
she's the most well acted of the
Mhm.
cast besides the killer. Billy is fucking
Oh,
phenomenal. Like
yes.
even though we never see him, like whoever
Which
is
is they.
playing him on the phone is
Mhm.
like dude, and that voice, if that's literally somebody doing voiceover work for the
I looked
calls.
it up. It's two different dudes.
Okay. Okay. Is it two different dudes on the phone calls alone, or
From just what I gleaned from just the credits alone, it seemed there was a phone voice one and phone voice two
okay, okay.
affiliate.
Well, both phone voices were fucking amazing.
Mhm.
They
Yeah.
they 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 knock it out of the park. It's very
They're
creepy,
blended
very
really
disturbing.
well.
Yeah. And they can they they change their voice seamlessly. You know,
Hmm.
even though it might be, it can't be. It literally has to be one person, changing their voice because it's a recorded
Hmm.
line. It's recording that they're listening to.
Yeah, yeah. And if I remember, I can't remember the exact timeline, but I know there was like talk of another girl that like went missing too. And then like after that, one of the phone calls, it almost sounded like there was a little girl being tortured on the other line, which it's hard to tell if it's Billy being a little girl or if it's actually like him with the victim.
Yeah, and that's it. I actually like that. It's
Hmm. Yeah. That's what it's always hard to tell like if he's mimicking something or if they're like, oh shit, is there someone else there?
yeah. It's but that's the whole point. It's very jarring. I know for a fact if I got that call, those kind of calls, I'd be very disturbed and not want to pick up the phone ever again.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, 'cause
But yeah,
that would be a nightmare. I would legit think that was an actual serial killer.
besides, like I said, besides just the acting just not being there, everything
Mhm.
the story is great that they've established, and they don't shove it in your face, and it's
Oh
up
yeah.
to you to kind of piece together what's going on.
Hmm.
And my theory is that this is the dude's old house, and that something happened with Agnes, the baby that he's constantly bringing up, that like
Hmm.
caused him to go. But like something happened with the family and some major abuse happened. He went insane, and I think he killed his like whole family. And he got into asylum, and now he's back, and he's just killing who's ever in the house.
Yeah, yeah. I
That's
kind
kind
of
of
want to like look up the exactly because I can't even remember. Like I remember hearing what he was saying, but it was hard to like. I can't really retain as much of what he said because I know he
us.
does give some because he keeps talking about Bill. He mentions Billy Lynn's
Well, he is
a lot.
Billy. Billy is the
Yeah,
killer.
that's
That
something
is.
that we have to assume, right? Though
Uh,
still, like we
yeah.
assume
That's
that's the
the
killer.
only. That's the only name that we're given to be given
Hmm.
to the serial
Because
killer.
we're just
And
assuming that he's speaking in third person.
and
So
I'm
he could even not he could always even be talking about
I'm
maybe
I'm
even someone
I'm gonna
else
have
too.
to. I'm gonna have to. I know a little bit more information because the 2006 remake slash. I think it's kind of like a remake slash reimagining slash sequel type
Hmm.
deal. So
I feel
some of
like
the
that
information
movie's gonna be. I think some of that information though we have to say since that was after and by different people,
so
it's not
that's where
canon.
some of my theory is coming in
Hmm.
from. That
Yeah.
I will that because I have seen both. I will give my history with this fucking film because I have a weird Mandela history with this fucking film
Hmm.
with these two films in particular because let I since I just brought it, let me get into this. The first film that I've ever watched, A Black Christmas, was neither the 2006 or this version here. It's a version that does not exist. It was I remember there being cookies made of flesh. There was a
Hmm.
scene of the kids decorating a Christmas tree with organs, like when they're little kids, like they're little kids,
Hmm.
and they're decorating, and they and the kids, the daughter, the spoiler, the sister is also the daughter of the brother, like
Hmm.
of the main dudes of Billy.
Hmm.
Agnes is the daughter sister of Billy of from the mother that they end up killing, and they
I
just
wouldn't
end
be
up going like on
surprised.
it.
Have you confirmed that that isn't the 2006 one? 'Cause that sounds like something like a stupid 2006 remake would
I
do. Like,
know
look, we
for
got
a
to make this
fact
more edgy.
I'm the one that I see in my head doesn't exist because the scene of them decorating a tree with organs does not exist.
Mhm.
That scene does not exist whatsoever.
But that storyline still might be like I could because what you're describing does sound like something like how I know it's just kind of like how a lot of movies will like, oh, it's like this movie was vague, so we can add like a bunch of like explanation, and
Yeah, I mean,
like put in a
I
flashback,
enjoyed it. It was I
like with the
enjoyed it.
Halloween
It
movie.
was a great twist because the girl was like pretending, to be a damsel in distress, but and then the plot twist happens, and then you're like, oh shit, you know.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. Well, with this one, obviously, like that wasn't it. I don't think in the thought process because like the whole thing was them using the
Well,
boyfriend
yeah,
as like
no,
a red
that is
herring.
just the Mandela movie, but I have
Hmm.
seen both this movie and the after that, and that's why I know I was like, oh, where's that fucking scene at?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
know I've seen
yeah.
that scene, but I
Hmm.
it's in neither, so
Hmm. But yeah, 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 yeah. I got you.
But yeah, that we got a little off track. The I can't remember anybody's name. I just call them by the serial killer they look like.
Yeah, because it's like other than Barb and
Yeah.
Billy and oh, I guess fucking oh shit, fucking the fucking annoying guy. I kind of he's on the hair of my tongue because I said fucking god damn it when he fucked up his one job.
Oh,
Dude that they were
Nash.
bullying.
Nash.
Nash.
The
Fucking
one,
Nash.
he was the one that I called the dumb shit eater, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because
Okay,
he's the
yeah,
one that Barb tricked him into thinking that the place was like
yeah.
called Fellatio.
Fellatio.
Because he didn't
He,
know what Fellatio was.
but
But
yeah, that's a great that was a great fucking
yeah, I thought that I kind of I don't know. I feel like I just wanted why I'm taking. You know what? I think this is a four.
uh,
I think this is a four. It's almost a 4.5, but I really love the killer. But I've just especially I recently have kind of like watched some scenes just from um ushering at the theater of like Terrorizer 2 and then there's Barbarian 2 and even some older movies I could think of like anything with I can't remember what that Italian director is. He does Suspiria. Um, but anyway, I wish there was a little bit more detail with the kills, especially at this time, like some old school, a little bit more gore, I thought.
I,
Because especially of how edgy this movie is. I mean, the best kill is with the plastic bag and then her in the chair like the whole time,
uh,
and rocking around while he's like up in the ceiling. But
I
like
don't
I don't
think
know, I
that
felt like I got robbed
s-
with the house mother,
I
like how she died.
yeah, I can
Like it was
kind
really cool with him with the hook in the hands, like his hands on the hook and stuff. But
I
I don't
I
know.
I kind of see, but before we solidify, I am going to have a counterpoint with that. This
Mhm.
film was made in 1974. I don't think with how edgy it already is, I don't think it would have been allowed past censors if it added gore on top of it.
No, that is not true. Especially this is 70. This is prime. This is like we just got out of the 60s and now we don't give a flying fuck anymore. Like everything's
Uh,
this mean
this is
spirited and fucking
1974. This is still in the weird transition. It wasn't an instant flip of the switch. This was made still in the time where that's why some of the jokes are like I'm like oh shit I'm surprised they even that's why I was like oh shit she called her mom a fucking golden plated whore like holy shit like for
Mhm.
1974 that's a pretty harsh dagger line like
Mhm.
and
Fulci?
I just I just don't see it having all the edginess with it. I feel if they added gore to it, they would have to dial back on the edginess, is what I'm saying.
Gotcha. I got you. Though there was like there was some pretty rough films and like even before that, though is all I'm saying. Like I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know how mainstream this was.
I mean, it's gotten, I think it's gotten two remakes. I think there's a 2019 one as well.
I just know that like exploitation was huge in this time, and a lot
It
of exploitation
it
movies
was
go
coming
fucking
out.
hard as fuck.
It was coming out during this time, yeah.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I just still feel like adding gore, like just making the because we do get the we get to see the bodies, and to be honest, I'm just gonna kill my own argument here because when we see the bodies, it does look like they're just covered in red paint.
Yeah.
They
And like
they
that's
could have
what I
done
like
that way better.
even if they didn't show the kills, like have some like I don't know, it's just like there's a lot you could do with like even on a
The
really low
bodies could have
budget.
been the corpses could have been done better. I will
'Cause
agree.
this is
It
what I
does
like
look
about
like just a lot of people laying
old
around with red paint.
because this is why it like made 70s gore like the best is because it was like we would just go to the bar like to the like the butcher shop and just grab a bunch of like guts and meat like that and then subject our actors and actresses who don't have because since they don't really have any like real protective contracts they weren't as common anymore you could exploit them especially in the underground like exploitation like film scene because most of these people like doubled as porn actors and actresses anyway So I
Yeah,
mean, this
but
one's a little bit. This one isn't as underground and like grimy as like
I would say
as what
during
I'm
this
talking about,
time,
but still,
you, I would
you can
say
get some
in
meat.
I would say in this time, you'd have to choose between being edgy or being gory in this
Hmm.
time period, because they're just not gonna allow both, you know,
Gotcha. Yeah.
because they're
I mean,
still
they probably would
prudes.
have got like an NC. Yeah, it would have got like a an X rating.
Yeah, and it just wouldn't have. But I still have to kill my argument because they did, like I said, they look like they're covered in red paint. There's
Yeah,
there's no.
maybe something in between. There's just like a little bit more that needs to be done with
Yeah,
that.
I don't make it look so red. Like make it look, more like deoxy. Make it more burgundy. They could have got burgundy paint.
Yeah, or like if you're gonna use bright red paint, then maybe just go all the way with it, like unrealistic and go stylistic, and like make them all white or something, like their skin white, or like
uh,
at least then there would be like a good contrast. It would be ridiculous, but you'd have like sort of a style going there.
yeah, but I don't think they would have thought about that in this time period. But
Yeah,
that would
uh,
have been a great fix.
I think they would have. I think
Maybe.
they would have. I don't know. I mean, we might have to like start looking into some more like early '70s like exploitation with like even like not even just horror,
No,
but like some like
we
gratuitous like
we will just
action
have
ones
to
too.
we just have to watch more 70 films to get a
70s
more feeling.
70s is like a I don't know if like I feel like you would think that it'd be like a lot more tight knit and stuff, but like Tarantino like
I I
says
don't
like the
I'm
70s
not
is like
trying
the
to say that
golden
it's
era of
tight knit, but I'm saying
mm,
I what I'm trying to say, it's still in the transition to where you had to pick a lane. You couldn't
mm,
have, multiple, you couldn't there was a certain extent to where they would still be like, "Whoa, whoa, pal. Okay now, Dad, don't you think of the children?"
mm,
Even though it's not even supposed to be for a child.
mm. But also, what was big in the 70s and even 60s too is that there was a lot more of like a kind of a marketplace for like a grimy movie like that. There'd be like more sleazier like theaters that you'd go like fucking midnight. And
Yeah,
there's kind of a
underground
scene,
films.
but over
That,
yeah,
but that's the
yeah,
underground.
yeah, yeah. I was saying there is a marketplace for this type.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not arguing with you. I'm just trying to defend the film a little bit because it does deserve a little defending.
Mm. And
This I will say, was there a soundtrack? I can't remember.
oh yeah, I mean there's some like little like it was more subtle. It kind of
It
like
like
play on the moment.
ambiance. It was more ambiance than an actual soundtrack. I will say the
Yeah.
sound was, of course, it is 1974, but for 1974 the sound was great, even though I do have to point out that they could have done a little more music.
I actually kind of like the silence in a lot of the points. I mean, like the music wasn't really memorable, but I think it played nicely. Didn't play too much. Um, like
Maybe the
I like that there
sound
was. I like
mixing
that
just
there's.
isn't. Maybe the
I
sound
mean,
mixing
just
could have been better. Maybe that's
yeah.
I.
That could just be the '70s like technology too, but I mean, I feel like the silence works best, like especially like in the scene when she's uh like walking up slowly to the closet when you could
Oh,
kind of like maybe vaguely see Billy,
I'm not. I wouldn't say take away any of the silent films. Just put more where there is music. That's what I was trying to say. Don't not more
Mm,
music. Make it louder. I
mm,
yeah, yeah. Just make the music a little
yeah,
bit louder because the sound mixing
yeah.
was a bit off on this. But
It
again,
was a little bit off, but it
this
was refreshing that the voices were louder than the music ones, because usually most movies make the mistake of doing the opposite.
and we have to point out this is a Christmas film. Like
Yeah.
all like this is very like this is a even though it's a horror, it's a very unique 1974 Christmas film that they allowed
Hmm.
to that's another sticking point that they fucking allowed this to be a Christmas movie, dude.
Yeah.
I know for a fact in 1974 that was a hard sell.
Hmm. Oh yeah, yeah. I don't know. There's a lot of psychos in the 70s. That's all I'm saying. Like in the cities, you'd be surprised
Yeah,
at what like people
yeah.
are
I
getting
like I
into.
said, like I literally called the Santa Claus, the dude that's dressed up as Santa Claus. He's literally just a fat Dennis Rader.
Yeah, yeah.
And even though we barely get to see him, the dude that plays Billy does look like Richard Chase eerily.
Mhm.
Like even though this is before Richard Chase's time.
Yeah.
And again, there is two people that look exactly like Ted Bundy before the haircut.
Pre 70s Bundy.
Oh yeah, we also had the house mom reminded me of Rose West, and there was a
Oh
girl
yeah,
that
yeah.
reminded me of Carla Hamanka, and
He had everybody.
the lead reminded me of Jodi Arias. It was a smorgasbord, man. It was fucking eerie as fuck.
Sounds like the reality show prison that I always wanted to do.
And I like how we ended up doing a hypothetical, but the film somehow took our hypothetical and just like destroyed it.
Yeah.
It's like, nah, this is how it would go down. All right,
But yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think we've gone on long enough. 4.5 for me. 4 for you. Still, I'm going to
Hmm.
assume.
Yeah, I'm gonna say four.
All right.
It's a high four.
Okay. All right. Yeah, if you've been listening this long, thank you so much. Please like, comment, and share the video around. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Do you have a sign off, Spooge?
Hey, yo, what's your favorite Christmas movie? Maybe we'll look into it as a bonus after we cover all the other ones. I mean, you get it in January, but still.
They would actually have to wait until Christmas
Oh, okay, then fine. You'd have to wait another year.
time.
So you better get them in.
All right.
You have a
Uh,
year.
this would be a this would be a bye
Bye-bye.
Fetch your skin.